Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension messages. My name is Bobby Richardson, and I will be your guide for today. So I channel messages by using my higher self, that connection to my soul that connects to other souls, Pleiadians, Acrturians, the CYANIANS, Mother Earth, elementals, and humanity's consciousness as well. And hey, Janine in the chat bar, good to see you. And yeah, so I channel through these messages so that mainly the messages that are coming through now are to do with our ascension process. So this is going to heighten our awareness into this whole new way of being, literally being, and then grounding this so that we start to project or create or move actions towards a new environment and a new creation on earth, and no longer fearing things that we feared before, that which was literally a program keeping us in bondage, keeping us in lockdown. So I'm going to go through a few of these symptoms because it's really intense at the moment. It's going to be intense for a little while. It's coming out for many. It's kind of like I can't just say it's going to be like this for this amount of time, because each and every single one of us is going through a specific journey of our own, and how we're unraveling the layers of our programming. And we're using the energies that are coming in, the ascension energies, new energies coming from the sun and the solar central galaxy, and that's pelting through to humanity to awaken us and giving us an opportunity to peel back a layer after a layer. So each time these energies come through, they can unpeel something of your reality, of your programming, so that you can create something new on the other side. But we are all going through this, and so there's this collaboration that's stretched throughout so many years for all of us. And some of us have cleared more than others because we've had guidance, pre all of this, like I have with my guides helping me. And I understand they've already put me through this before, way back in, before I even come to Australia, so 1990s. And then they literally said, okay, now the training wheels are off you go. And I literally fell back into the whole programming again and started to try to, swim myself through it all. It was like I just chucked back in. Any case, along with that, a lot of visions, a lot of help on the way though, but they let me guide myself from then on. But when they were guiding me way back when, the ascension, the things that I went through, I had to follow my intuition to be able to find my way through. Now, there are symptoms coming up at the moment because of this radical shift, especially for those that have done lots of shadow work and really know thyself and started to think, I've got it now. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's something else that's come up. This is because we are going from the logical mind being ignited, and these energies are playing this game with us, kind of like, if we choose to step into our logical mind again, which was the program saying that the logical mind means everything, it's the top dog of our consciousness. It's the one that creates everything. That's what it's been like for the last thousands of years, which has put us in such an unbalanced state of mind, of frequency, totally out of whack, because the logic is not supposed to be in charge of everything, right? But we wanted to learn the lesson of how deep our logic could take us. So at the moment, some of the symptoms are we're going into this logic again, and that means the stories will start to play out, and then we're going back into letting that go and then releasing. And when we release it and we start to feel into the moment of our life, in other words, we're no longer playing a story in our head, we're just accepting in the moment that's when we're going, oh, okay, I feel better now. And then we get thrown back into this logical mind of a story comes up. Oh my God, that person did that. Oh my God, this is happening to me. Oh my God, I'm going to have to pay this bill. All of these stories come up, and the focus point's so intense at the moment that we're really, really, really feeling it. They're taking me to being that I'm, over 50, I've gone through menopause. And when I first went, this might, you guys might go, well, I'm not going to go through that. But this is literally similar in the retrospect of a shift that's happening within humanity's consciousness. I'm not saying that you're going to go through menopause or anything like that, but I just want to explain to you what actually happened, because I really understand what I'm going through, and my mind and my body and my soul. I have this kind of inner log that goes on with me when I go through something like that, and it is similar. So there was this rush of chemicals that goes through my body, and the first thing that happens when something new comes in is my mind wants to put a story to it. So my mind is starting to go, oh my God, this person's doing this to me, and this person's doing that, and that means that this, and now I'm going to have to react like this, and all, and crazy ass stories start to happen because there's this tension that builds up with this new chemicals that are going through your body that you're not used to. So this is literally what's happening with humanity, how we are being hit by these frequencies of love, but it's like so freaking new that our logical mind wants to create a scenario to keep it in charge still. And so it projects these stories, and oh my God, that person's going to be a bad person. And you literally look for confirmation outside of yourself to say that that's what's happening. And you get caught in this tornado, this whirl of stories and crazy stuff. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't handle it anymore. So then you get to a point where you can't handle it, and you just let go, and you just go, well, if I can't handle it, I have to release it. And when you do that, it literally feels like a death within yourself. And you could even have thoughts of, I want out. I just want out. And what's really happening, it is your logical mind releasing all of the stories that it's projected onto your reality, into your reality. And then when it releases it, it's like this, oh my God, absolute peace. Why? Because there's no stories going on in your head, and you're just living in the moment. You don't really care. You're just accepting. You're just going on your day to day. You just wake up and just look outside and go, I just feel so calm. Gee, I feel calm. Why do I feel calm? It's because you've actually released something. You could be crying through that time. So there could be bouts of absolute crying and, shedding and all of that. And then slowly you go along the week or whatever, and something will niggle at you, and it will hook, the logical mind will hook back in again and create the same story or a different story. Oh my God, that's going to happen again. Protect, tension, logical mind's in charge. And then you're like, oh, I can't do it anymore. And then you release. And this is what's happening to us, even if it's subconsciously, we're going in this real intense, but it's because they are bringing, eventually it gets to a stage where you start to feel just into a slight movement of the logical mind being in charge, and you just go, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep going back to that story that wants to develop, that I know I don't want to go there. I don't want to have the tension of all of that. I want to create something completely new over here with living in the moment and feeling that I'm just love going on a journey. So the symptoms are pretty full on at the moment. And if you're having any of them, like for instance, just feeling tense, really, really tense constantly, and then going, and then this release, then you are on the right path. Believe me, you are on the right path. So if you're feeling unsure, you don't really know where you're going, but you have this kind of, your heart, you kind of know that you're going in the right way, but you're not really sure, you probably are on the right track. So don't panic about too much here. You could be having moments of living in the zone, and when you're living in the zone, it's like click, click, click. You're in the right place at the right time, and things are going really well. One of those things, like a story of mine, when I was back in Ohio with the Cherokee Elder, I went on this. We had to go on a 28-day diet. No root vegetables, no sugar. It was just a crazy, really crazy diet for 28 days. But it brought me into the zone. And throughout that whole experience, while I was over there, I was in the right place at the right time, did the right thing. So, there would be accounts where somebody was offering ice cream because they thought that we could have sugar. And I just took one teeny little bite and went, this feels wrong and I don't like it, and gave it to somebody else. And I was really wanting sugar at that moment, but I didn't. And it's like this intuition starts to teach you or tell you exactly where to go at the right place at the right time. And so you're in the zone of flowing. You know exactly where things are that are lost. You know things, you know who to meet, who not to meet. You're no longer in doubt. There's a doubt that comes with the logical mind of the story that it's projecting. But in the intuitive, observatory mind of the soul looking out for you through love, it's just a knowing. And so you just flow. Yeah, so there's that too, going in the zone, being more in the zone as well. Hey, everybody in the chat bar. Hey, Flowers, Sky, Sandy, Debbie. Good to see you. It's actually Saturday morning for me here in Australia. Um, so I've never done a Saturday morning, but I was so yearning to get online when my modem went down and we had to wait for a new modem to come, like you would have seen in my community chats. And it's just so good. I just went, that's it, I'm going live tomorrow. I don't care if this is Saturday. Yeah. So we are learning to literally write a new story. And this is what's happening to the whole of humanity. No matter how you look at it, and how the adventure plays out, you can look at it at whatever angle, from whatever perception you like, but really it is a rebalancing of humanity's consciousness to be able to come in line, back in line with the true value of who we are as love going on a journey. We are, and that will not have the fear-based scenarios that play out. Any monsters that you have that are in your reality, people that you think are monsters, things that are going on outside of you that are really awful, you have to look at yourself as to where the lack within you that creates them as something you can fear, because it's always coming from a lack of love within yourself to say that you are not at equal standing with anything that is trying to pull the wool over your eyes or whatever. You are infinite. You are consciousness just going on this journey, but we are in a journey that is playing through a mind program. So there is a nature-given program that underlines the logical mind that keeps us in a separated field so that we can have an adventure of an existence that plays out in the tangible one. And that means we can then use that to create specific stories and adventures as well, and say, this works with this program and this doesn't. In other words, a program could be that, say, for instance, what would I say? Like we have the fact that we have to pay bills and so forth like that. And then we have to look at ourselves and go, well, is this a natural program, or is this a program that's been pulled over our eyes as in lack of? When we come from love and we're using the natural program, everything is already gifted to us. We already have everything, like Mother Earth has supplied everything for us. She supplied water, she supplied food, we have heat from the sun, we have trees and so forth, and bushes and caves and stuff, and we can create things now with our hands that create shelter, whether that is, glass houses or whatever it is, rock formations. It doesn't really matter. Something beautiful, it doesn't matter, so long as it's in line with love of oneself and in line with the love of one's environment. They're also bringing me to the fact that your environment, as you start to step into more of alignment with the true program that is underlining everything, that your environment is part of you as well. It doesn't just stop at your body, that everything outside of you is part of your consciousness developing a scenario or a story to either keep you safe and feeling at peace within yourself and feeling enlightened and feeling adventurous within yourself, or keeping you in fear, where you're stepping into, say, a home that has a lot of people that are living in fear, and their personalities are encroaching in on you. And then you have to step out and go, well, for me to shift, I need to shift my environment as well, because my environment isn't helping me find my true essence of my natural program. So this is literally learning to find our true essence of our natural program again, and that our outside world is part of that consciousness that we are spilling outwards. When you come to terms that you are the creator of your reality and you choose every given moment where to spend your life, who to spend your life with, what to do within your life, whether you want to expand away from certain people or go or magnetize towards others, or stay with somebody and allow the story to play out. It's always a choice, a choice, a choice, a choice. There is something that I was having a full-on discussion with them like a few days ago in the car again, and this message come through. So I'm going to read this message out because it was aligning me with my magnificence, and it might help you guys as well. So this is what was being played out in my head. When I come from the observer of me, I lack nothing, therefore I am everything. And at the tip of my fingers is the next answer and the next answer. So what is the question that doesn't come from lack? Because we are coming from just love, right? So here we are asking all these questions, but every question, I was going through all these questions in my mind after that, going, oh, what is the question? And then it was like, there's a lack with that. There's a lack with that. There's a lack with that. And I just kept on finding lacks no matter what question I was asking. It was really interesting. So then I finally come to this conclusion. Align me with the frequency that fulfills me in every moment. So that was the question I asked. But then I realized that becomes, I am aligned with the frequency that fulfills me in every moment. So in other words, when they come from the observer point of view of moving through life just through love, you aren't asking any questions anymore. The questions turn into, what do I want? What do I want to create in my reality? It's just that, and that's all that there is in the end. And so it's an alignment of frequencies as you move along. And like if you're aligning with trying to seek to fight the fear, then you will align with people that are going to be fighting you until you realize that you aren't the fear at all. You will always just love. And this is aligning us with the higher frequencies that we're moving into, and then with the phenomenons that are going to come in, like the UAPs and stuff like that. Like, instead of, we're talking about, well, unidentified flying objects, but there's more than unidentified flying objects. And I think they call them UAPs now. And that is, actually, I wrote something down here about that. Unidentified anomalous phenomena And this encapsulates underwater beings, inner earth beings, and aerial phenomena. So we're literally shifting and creating and carving our reality into more. It's not just going to be called UFOs anymore. We're going to be calling them something different. It's like we're expanding our vocabulary and our reality into an unknown vortex that was always there, that we could always align to, but we had to come into balance with ourselves and stop playing in the field of fear. That makes a big difference. And so it expands our reality to way, 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 way more. Yeah, so these shifts and the symptoms that are happening, flow through them, allow them to just be part of the process. Don't get down on yourself. Don't make yourself feel guilty about what you're feeling. That is the program that's pulling you into fear, the guilt, the fear. They're the biggest ones. The victimization, the I'm no good, I'm too small, there's something outside of me that's bigger, that's more powerful. No, there's nothing outside you that's more powerful, because everything is source energy, everything is oneness, everything is God going on a journey. So you are no less than anyone else. Yes, we are all individually in our own avatars moving through different programs, and each program that we're moving through is a different experience, but at the core essence of one soul, we are just oneness going on a journey. So even if you encountered another being and you were afraid of them, if you knew 100% that they were source energy as well, going on a journey, but they're coming from a lack, then you already have the capability to know that through the love or essence of who you are, that you are equal standing. So no longer there's a fear, there's just a difference. It's just that thing is different to you. And so you see it from a different perspective. And they realize too that they have nothing on you. They can't do anything to you because you're already coming from your strength of who you are at the core essence of oneness. And that is different. Yeah, so we are definitely moving through this process at the moment, and please don't be too concerned. Even if you have to distract your mind, do that as well. Like, go into whatever that is and distract it. Yeah. I'm just seeing what else is wanting to come through while I'm connecting to them. So I'm feeling Arcturian around me at the moment, interestingly enough. And the CYANIANS are in the background as well. There is a place where the vibrational meet. They're showing me like people who are going to create inventions that are going to allow us to go into these other dimensional spaces. It's interesting. They're saying just allow everything to play out as it plays out. Don't give anything a thought of, oh, that shouldn't be here. If it's here, it's in existence. If you're saying it shouldn't be here, then there's something in your reality that you're already lined up with it that is saying that it is a lack of, or unknown quantity that you don't want to experience, which is still coming from a fear that you've magnetized yourself to it. See, if you're just, it's really interesting, but there's an alignment that we are going on. When we go into the zone and we step from moment to moment instead of from the logical mind trying to predict the future. See, the logical mind wants to predict the future. It wants to feel safe in that respect because it doesn't have the safety net of understanding that the soul's connection is its safety net, that the soul is the observer of your reality, creating something beautiful. When you go into creating something beautiful for yourself, your whole world shifts, which means the whole world shifts, because it's only your perception of your reality anyway. You're not in somebody else's perception of their reality. When they stay in fear, their reality stays in fear. When you're staying in alignment with the being in the zone, you are then moving away from those fear-based scenarios and people, and you are in the absolute, like they keep showing me that core essence of knowing oneself is safe just by knowing oneself is love, going on a journey. That's all there is. It's the core underlying essence of moving forward. I'm trying to understand where they're coming from, because they want to bring in the fact that there are people out there that are going to open up or have more understanding of portals, of machines that can create things that are different, and so or come up with abilities that they have for themselves. And when you're in alignment with the love of who you are, you will only sync up with those ones that are matching that frequency. It's only when the logical mind steps in. Now, there has been many programs that have pulled humanity's consciousness under the belt of fear through movies that have been produced and so forth, telling us that we have to fear anything that's unknown. But it is within the unknown that we are going to expand our reality into a much beautiful scenario that steps us away from somebody else controlling us, because the fear has kept us in a limitation that's kept us very small, and the expansion is going in towards an unknown quantity. Yes, it can be something that you could imagine, or something that you know within your soul's lineage, that you feel within your veins that it's the truth. But then, because of the program of the logical mind being programmed by watching many, many movies that are telling us that if you step through those portals, or if you align with somebody that's creating this, then you're going to be in danger. If you always know who you are in every single moment, you can pull away, you can step away, you can move towards whatever. It's all coming down to your choices in the end. It's your choices that are creating your reality. So please be in line with those frequencies of the choices of where you really want to go, not what you want to fight or you want out of your life. It's a difference. And this is why we're going back and forth at the moment between our logical brain and our intuitive mind stepping forward into the zone, or this intuitive mind being activated by the fact that we're living in the moment. Yeah, so we are learning at the moment how to do what feels comfortable and what doesn't feel comfortable, and it will get even more and more and more uncomfortable as we go along, because the energies are more and more intensely regulated, they're saying, to the love vibration. And so anything that is within lack of that love is going to feel extremely uncomfortable. So go take a deep breath. Like go have a bath for some reason. So funny. Go in the water. It's something to do with the water and our bodies. It's like closest match to our body's vibration. And when you go in water, you are becoming that. You can become that water as well. And then we're learning how to become more and more and more of our environment. I mean, it's only held within the logical mind that everything is solid. But in real true essence, everything is just reflection. Not even reflection, they're telling me. Okay, where are we going now? Not even reflection. It just is. It's who you are, creating the illusion of the material world and all the fear that goes with that. But to know thyself as oneness will bring you in alignment with many others that know that they're in oneness. That shifts you into the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, any dimensional space. Dimensions are only something of a separated illusion of the logical mind trying to understand something that goes beyond its understanding. But in essence, or core essence, there are no, there's not even, oh my gosh, where are they going? They're really bringing me back really closely to oneness here. Because at the core of essence of oneness, it's just, the dimensions are beings go in and out of them all the time. It's just different alignments of different choices of different experiences that they have, depending on what lessons they're going through, to be able to peel away the layers to bring them into oneness. Well, that's full on. They're saying this because when we get to that point, we no longer fear anything. Whew, but it's full on. It's full on. It's a mind. It's one of those crazy mind ones that where my logical mind is getting blown apart by channeling this through. But it is. I understand it. I see where they're coming from. I feel it, so I understand it. But still, my logical mind is like, how far do we go? How far do we go? Because there is only one that exists, and it's your reality in this existence right here, right now. And everything else is just the illusion from this point of view. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, the reason why they want me to come really full circle into this is because they want us to have this like you could say something or you could be told something, but you don't really feel it, or you don't really have that experience of the strength that's underlining it. And when you really, really, really feel the strength that's underlining it and you know it to be who you are, there is nothing else to fear. The fear falls away. The program that they've pulled over humanity's consciousness has fallen away. You've stepped out of that program because you know that at any given moment, the program that comes into you, you just go no to. Like I've had moments or glimpses within my own life that I have done this, where, there was a certain camera that I kept going, speeding camera that I kept going past, and I was getting ticket after ticket after ticket. And I swore I was doing 60, but it kept telling me I was doing more than 60. And I'm like, there's something wrong here. And then I was like, that's it. I was like down to the last few points, and I had to take my daughters to school. And, I was like, how am I going to do this? My car had blown up. Everything was going wrong. And I was starting to get more and more anxious. In other words, I was starting to feel more and more into the story, and the story become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I just went out under the stars and went, that's it, it's over. I'm not doing this anymore. I literally went, I command my reality not to do this anymore. And then I got this feeling to ring up the ticket people, the government, whatever, people did the tickets. I rang them up, rang the phone number on the bottom of the fine. And I said to them, I think there's something wrong with your camera. And they're like, she turned around and said to me, no, there's not, something wrong with you. And I went, no, I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to go, okay, well, at least I've let you guys know. And then I let it go. And would you believe 3 months later, I got another feeling to ring them back up again. I didn't get any more tickets. I literally started to go a different direction. I chose another path. I chose another path in my environment so that I went round the long way every single time from then on. Didn't go past that camera. And then 3 months later, I rang them back again and they said I only had 2 points instead of like 11 off or something. I was like at the end of my points. And I was just about to say something. I'm like, no, no, no. Like they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I shifted my reality. So we have this ability at the moment. That's why they're bringing this up, to shift our reality. And when we come into the core essence of who we are, and understanding that there is only us that exists, and it's how we feel about us and our environment as we move along here, no longer playing out the games of the scenario of the logical mind trying to be in charge, putting it back in its place of where it's meant to be, and then allowing us to feel into the zone of the stories of just being present in the moment. We can then ignite the imagination to shift the stories. And they are wanting to feed us more imaginations. So that's where the alignment of communication comes in between extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, elemental beings, Earth is South, the elements of Earth, the fire, the wind, the water, and so forth, wanting to share with us scenarios of a new beginning. And so we can choose which ones we want to bring in. And that is the beauty of what's happening. So you might be going through some up, down, crazy ass stuff at the moment. But this is where they want to give us a glimpse as to where we can actually go. That even our imagination will start to expand because we're in alignment with our soul, and our soul is in alignment with those in that love frequency that know more of beautiful existences out in this awesome freaking universe that we've created, and to align us with those imaginations. And all of a sudden, ding, 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 oh my gosh, why don't we try it this way? Why don't we do it this way? Why do we have to do it that way? Why can't we expand trying it this way? See if it actually can be grounded. Some things might not be able to be grounded because it's coming from a place that needs a certain logical program that can be held in this reality. Remember, to ground something, the logic has to agree to it. But things that are already in existence, like telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, and all of those other cool, fun things, they are part of the natural program. And that is when we are in alignment with the balance of who we are. So we're learning to go back into the natural program here. But there is more to it. They're telling me there's more to it. But we can't get to that point until we have no fear within the existence of expansion, of moving towards more expansion. Otherwise, as soon as the fear comes in, we shut ourselves down into a minimal state of victimization. And that minimal state will just hold us bound. This is definitely Acrturians coming through. I see them in my frontal. I see a picture of them. They're being very direct, like this with me. That expansion of awareness also can be found in many, many other things. They're showing me Mother Earth and all planets are actually souls that combine their effort into grounding such beautiful creation that they have become the creators of all that exists in on that planet, all that allows in on that planet. And so we can converse with them as a soul, and each one can converse with each other too. And when humanity slips into that, there's like a vortex or a portal or something of Mother Earth connecting with other planets. When we're the observer of understanding that, we become part of that. We can use it as a slipstream to converse with other planets as well. It's really interesting. Bringing me to the quasi-particles that are surrounding us, a part of the choices that we make. Quasi-particles are the choices that we make. They are around us, or they are us. It is the existence of all things, and the choice of our own perception coming from who we feel we are into what we are creating. An alignment of frequencies. That's why there's messages like me, people with messages to ignite you, many others, because there's certain, those that I could be igniting have specific things that they need or that they can do once they come into balance. None of this can happen unless you come into balance of yourself. And balance means that you can make a choice at any given moment on what you actually want to become part of. In other words, something negative comes along, a bill or something like that, something that you can't pay or whatever, and all of a sudden you just go, not doing that story. And it's not that you ignore it. You might have to pay it, but it's like it's not like you just become an airy-fairy person up there. That it's like you're slipping into a zone of knowing your power, and then trusting that the next step that you do is actually going to show you how to move away from giving any attention to that. And then as less and less attention comes to that sort of thing, like the system being built on bills and paying taxes and all sorts of things, the less attention that goes on that. In other words, you might have to pay it, you just pay it quickly, don't even think about it. The less attention that goes into it, meaning that you are now opening yourself to bringing in way more money over here, that the bill doesn't even matter anymore. It's like aligning yourself with not the fear of it that you haven't got the money or you're in lack of. It's aligning yourself with the fact that you have the money coming in over here, because you're no longer giving that any sort of fear game or being a victim to it or being less than or a lack of. See what I mean? It's a different sort of way of feeling and thinking that that humanity's learning to step into. That's full on. Sky, I know I create my own reality, but does my reality or the people in my reality only exist in my mind, or does everyone share the same reality? I apologize if I'm not making sense. No, you're making total sense. I understand where you're coming from, because it's a conundrum, isn't it? When you look at outside and there's people that are at their own source energy going on their own journey, right? Source energy is fractions of many adventures. But at the wholeness of itself, it just is love going on a journey through all these different fractions of people and family members and partners and so forth. They all have their own adventure. It's when you're with somebody, you're aligning with them so that you're sharing part of that adventure. But it's like you're a bubble within your own existence, and then your bubble can move in and out and make choices of sharing your existence with other people's adventures. And that's the separatedness that we have come into so that we could have this beautiful adventure that feels separated. But at the core essence of who you are that person as well, because you are just love going on a journey fractioning out into many different adventures. And that's why you can channel. That's why you have this ability to be able to feel into animals, and this ability to be able to feel into it, because you know the perception or the perspective of being able to do that. You can come from the observer point of view and understand at the core essence that you are them and they are you. It's one of the things that they kept giving me, like when I had visions and stuff like that, or I'd have crazy dreams of falling through vortexes and stuff, and then they would say, I am in everyone, I am in everyone, I am in everyone. Massive big mandala that I had to fall through just to come back to me. The mandala was the frequency that held me into this adventure that I'm doing right here, right now. And so I come back to the story that's held in the logical mind. But the story that's just meant to hold in the logical mind isn't supposed to create the next path. We're supposed to put that in its place. It's a memory base. It's also for just this life, so that we can have past, present, and future kind of feeling like it is a lineal story. That's the program. But yeah, Sky, kind of, yeah, you are them at the core essence of who you are as source energy, but they're also a fragment of source energy going on their own journey, and you are collectively coming together with them to share specific parts of their journey. Because you can't share everything of someone else's journey. Otherwise, you'd be like this all the time, right? You'd be a Siamese twin, which means you just stuck together to be part of that journey all the time. And even Siamese twins have different thoughts, have different perceptions of things too. I know when I was growing up, my sister had totally different perception of what was going on than I did, because I could feel into everything and they were kind of just surface dwelling on reality. So my perception was completely different, because I remember the thoughts of people as well, and the feeling, the vibration that they sent off. So yeah, I hope that kind of helps you understand. The law of alignment is mentioned in the book of the 12th Insight. Yeah, 12th Insight, that was a good book. Yeah. The law of alignment. Yes, it is. Yeah. So they go into more expansion. That story goes into more expansion and more details when you start to come into alignment of yourself. See, stories like that will be written more and more. We want more movies that bring us into more happy spaces and more alignment with utopia and more excitement with all of that. This is one of the things I really want to do before I die, is to create a beautiful movie that aligns us with what they gave me, our future, and our potential, and where we can actually go with this. But please, in this moment, bringing it back to now. Yeah, take a deep breath. Don't be too hard on yourself. Trust that when you release the part of the program that is playing out at the moment that's making you feel very awkward, trust that when you release it, you will come into a feeling of it's okay. It's like living in the moment. It means that you're no longer playing those stories out, which actually expands you to watch much more. Yeah. Do whatever you need to do. If you have some sort of fixation on, I don't know, drinking lemon water every morning or something like that because it makes you feel good, do that. Don't judge someone else for doing something else that makes them feel right for them. Each and every one of us knows what makes us feel right for us, because we've aligned. We have specific neuron paths within our brain that align us with happy chemicals being produced in our body. And so the story that we play out outside of us might be a neuron path within us that goes, this is going to produce a happy chemical for me. And yet for another person, it might produce something negative because their neuron path is connected to a negative story that happened. Say lemons, I don't know, someone threw lemons at them when they were a kid and then they got hit in the head and it really hurt. And so they don't want anything to do with lemons. See, so their neuron path is changed, would change into something else. This is where we have to release judgment on other people and their and how they move through their existence and how they move through their life. So if you feel within yourself that you need something specific that helps you, then align with that, and no more telling yourself, oh, that person told me it was wrong, so I shouldn't do it. No more of that. If it feels right for you, then it's right for you. It might be wrong for them, right? So, yeah, thanks, Sky. I'm glad you got that one, understood that one. Yeah. See, as you come more and more into the power of who you are going to find so much more magnificence in your gifts and what you can actually do and where you can actually go with all of these beautiful gifts that are going to come in alignment with you. Now, first up, you might want to go just try them out, secretly over here. They're bringing me to this boy that knew beyond doubt that he could levitate a ball. And first thing he did, he was only young. He was only like 6 or something. He went into his bedroom and he just started to throw this ball up in the air and try to levitate it, right? And he tried and tried. He kept on doing it and kept on doing it until he got into the zone of knowing he could do it. When he knew he could do it 100%, then he showed his mum. So that's another good lesson for us now when we're starting to ignite these gifts, and each and every one of us has specific pieces of the puzzle that we're aligning with because our soul's gone on specific journeys. When we do that, maybe go, do it in secret for a while, keep it to yourself. Always really hard for me to do that because I'm a messenger, so everything that goes in my head comes out my mouth. It's just part of being a messenger, right? That's my energy. I don't hold back. I don't wait for payment. I just blah. I don't try to keep anything secret. But they are saying with these beautiful gifts, keep them. It's a good idea, especially if they are beyond the norm, to maybe do them in secret, maybe with a smaller group that really is in alignment with you if you can. But if you start to get any sort of about their reality trying to poo-poo your reality, then pull right back and then do it in your own time. Yeah, that would help as well. Also, when you're in alignment, you might find specific locations that feel right for you to practice whatever you're practicing. Specific people, specific locations more. It could be anything from just being in your backyard in a specific place, or something that you've made a room that's just for that. Or it could be that you go out on location and you found a stream somewhere or something. They're saying do the spell work as well. This is helping the logical mind. Spell work helps the logical mind. Okay, when I light this candle, I know I'm channeling. So I always like a candle lit when I channel. Things like that. Like it doesn't have to be big, can be just one thing, could be many things. But this is what helps the logical mind come into place, because then it's like, okay, now I know My logical mind knows, stay back. This isn't your game. This is my intuitive game coming through, my messages coming through, my clarity, my soul's advice, my soul's connection, my soul's messages. So it knows to stay back. Not that it doesn't come up every now and then, it does, but it at least gives me a good enough space for me to be able to channel for you guys. So yeah, you might have specific things that you want to do, or movements. They're showing me automatic writing of some kind for some reason. I don't know why they're showing me automatic writing. Maybe what somebody in the chat bar is to do with automatic writing. Okay, well, just if you are trying to do automatic writing or something like that. Sorry, I'm just getting these. This could be for you, Sky. I don't know why, but they're showing me like alien language coming through. But even if you wrote that down, or if you did light language or whatever, remember, you can write anything down. You can spell anything out of your mouth. If you don't know the feeling or the message that's beyond, that's coming through that, the channeled wisdom that comes through that, then you are just writing. You are just speaking. You're just, yeah, doesn't matter really. But to begin with, you might need to write it down and just let go of your logical mind and just keep writing and writing and writing, and then all of a sudden something might come through. Certain symbols might pop up. Ah, wow, starting to get into a reading here. Oh, wow, that's cool, Sky. So you were trying automatic writing. To write. Yeah. Anyways, that aside, I don't want to get into a specific reading with Guy. It's so easy because I love her energy, as I do everyone on this chat bar. Anyways, we are going through some really can be seen, perceived as traumatic experiences, as well as enlightened experiences, a very yo-yo-y time. You are on the right path. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're not losing your mind. You are losing your logical mind enough for more expansion to come through. So I hope that this channeling did you guys well. Love you guys heaps. Until next time, I suppose. Don't forget, I am an intuitive counselor. You can book me. My link is down below. And yeah, until next time. Bye.